tomorrow night, obviously, when you think of the lineup that the Chicago Cubs have, Josh Tomlin will have his work cut out for him. But I think the Indians proved in the first game they can score on the Cubs, despite Arrieta's great performance last night, flirting with a no-hitter in the sixth.
They can. They've shown through the entire playoff series, and I think going into Chicago, after what they did in the first game, definitely they have the offense that can handle things. And obviously, Terry knows how to handle that pitching staff as he's shown so far. So, yeah, I don't think there's going to be an issue there.
All right, let's talk about Pitt and 25th ranked Virginia Tech. As we speak, they're just about ready to tee it up at Heinz Field. On the smartphone again, I was getting traffic reports, so going to be another nice crowd, and I'd love to see a sellout. And I think Heinz Field is a great venue for the University of Pittsburgh. And the Hokies have never won at Heinz Field, and the Panthers right now with a 5-2 record, 3-1 in the ACC, looking pretty good. It would be great to get this one tonight.
Yeah, they do. This would be a huge win for them. And with Virginia Tech, you don't know which team is going to show up because they have wins over North Carolina, they have a win over Miami, but they're sandwiched in between. They lose to Syracuse. So, but obviously they have two quality wins. So Pitt they really need to win this one to get a quality win on their schedule, on their docket to move forward.
And by the way, Matt Canada's offense has absolutely been incredible. It is a throwback to a Mike Ditka team. They just run the football. You've got James Conner and Shantez Moss, and then with those jet sweeps, you've got some speed in Quandre Henderson. They have got nothing but we are going to hit you time and time again. And if we get anywhere into the secondary, my money is on the Pitt Panther to get into the end zone.
Absolutely, they have speed. Obviously, they do the power game well, but they do the speed game well too. The jet sweeps have been tremendously successful. Throwing Jordan Whitehead in there as well on offense, and he produces for them. So, absolutely, they definitely, the offense that Matt Canada has brought has just been a breath of fresh air.
Here's how they spread it around. You've got 7 players with 20 rushing attempts, which is pretty incredible. Now, Jared Evans, on the other side of the coin for Virginia Tech, leading the ACC with passing efficiency with 19 touchdowns. But here's what I did not realize, and I saw this stat earlier today. Pitt right now, going into this game, shares the sack lead in the conference with 25, so they can get after the quarterback.
They can, and they're going to have to play against Evans. There's a guy with 19 touchdown passes. He's also their second leading rusher, so if they don't get to him, he can hurt him with their legs too. So they need to pressure him tonight.
All right, Steelers have the week off, thank goodness. Give Ben another week to heal. Everybody's kind of giving me, well, Landry Jones looked okay. Maybe they'll be okay. I'm like, guys, when all of a sudden does it become fashionable for a Steeler fan to accept a loss? I don't like losing. I know the Steelers don't like losing, especially Mike Tomlin. Good, yeah, but not good enough. I hate to say this, if they don't get Ben back, I'll give him the Ravens game after the bye, but then you've got Dak Prescott, what he's been doing with Dallas. I don't even know if Tony Romo's going to get back in the lineup. Steelers are, right now, one game ahead of two very good football teams who struggled through the first part. Steelers 4-3, and Bengals and Ravens are 3-4. There's no time but the present for Ben to get back in his lineup.
Yeah, he has to get back, and he's been practicing. The thing with Ben, historically, when he gets injured, obviously every year, he comes back, and it seems like that first game is more of an adjustment game. So he's going to need that first game back to kind of adjust to getting back in the swing of things. And so that Ravens game is going to be important for him. Because after that is Dallas, and like you say, what Dak Prescott's doing, they have to be rolling when they get into that game.
All right, Blake Bortles doesn't like the mustard throwback uniforms of the Jaguars. I do, because I like Paul Pizlesny from Hopewell. Paul, you've been a good friend for a long time. Anytime you're back in town, the hot dogs are on Jim Equals. No, I'd be more than happy to buy you a couple of hot dogs. I've known that kid since he was a high school player, went to Penn State. He's nothing but pure class, and I'm rooting for them against Tennessee tonight. Obviously, Jacksonville took it on the chin to Oakland 33-16. Thursday Night Football, Gus Bradley right now having a bit of a difficult time trying to figure out what Jacksonville is going to do. Mike Mularkey, the ex-Steeler, of course, you really do wish him well. They obviously took another loss, too, 34-26 to Indianapolis. Marcus Mariota, he's 2-8 at Tennessee, and they got DeMarco Murray, who can really run the football. 633 yards thus far this year. But I still think Paul Pizlesny is still a good football player. I still think Jacksonville has enough of a defense to keep them in the game. And their offense with Blake Bortles, who at times has shown he can be a quality quarterback in the National Football League. Thursday Night Football, Monday Night Football, Sunday afternoon, evening football. I love the NFL. Can't get enough football. I hope that the Jacksonville Jaguars get this one tonight on the NFL Network.
Well, I do too. And you look at what Paul has done in the NFL. He's really quietly put together a really quality career. First at Buffalo and now down in Jacksonville. When you look at the stats he puts up, and then we have a place down in Florida, and we drive through Jacksonville. There's billboards with Kozlowski up there. He's quite the celebrity down there. So he's really done well for himself, both on and off the field.
The best billboard is him at the gymnasium in Our Lady of Fatima. That's the best billboard. You know, I love these cups. Lauren Williams on this one, and you know they got Terry and Tito Francona. They've got Joe Walton, Babe Pirelli. I'd like to see a Paul Kozlowski cup because you know what? He has had a great NFL career.
He's quietly gotten it done. You know, with all the legends we have around here that have gone to do great things in NFL, he's quietly had a really quality career.
All right, the reason you're here is to give me my high school football information because I know it's over as of tomorrow and then it's off to the playoffs. Just some observations overall going into another week.
Huge weekend in the Beaver Valley Conference. Obviously, it comes down Beaver and Beaver Falls. Beaver Falls is in a better situation. Win or lose, they're probably going to be in. Beaver, with the great season they've had, they lose, they're out. And that would be the end of the career of Darius Wise. So Beaver is in a must-win situation. They lose, their season's over.
Who do you like in that game?
I like Beaver. I think Darius Wise is every game. He's the best threat on the field. I mean, obviously tomorrow,
Donovan Jeter is going to challenge him.
Yes, he's the biggest recruit, and he definitely will challenge him. He's a stud on the defensive line. But I really think that Darius is a difference maker. I think he doesn't want his career to end tomorrow night.
How happy do you think Jim Harbaugh is that Donovan Jeter has decided to go to Michigan? And you know what? Good for that kid. He's a kid. Until he signs on the dotted line, he can do what he wants. I wish him the best. Ann Arbor, I've been there. It's an incredible place.
Yeah, Harbaugh's going to be thrilled with this. I covered Beaver Falls last week, and I talked to Jeter after the game. And, I was asking him, it was the same week he decommitted from Notre Dame and went to play the game. And I said, how much of a relief was it just to get on the field again and get all the distractions out of the way? And he said, it definitely was playing that game. And he hadn't gone, he said, I'm going to Michigan in the morning. And he actually said he was hearing from Wisconsin, too. I'm like, hey, you got to think about them. But then, obviously, went to Ann Arbor and fell in love and really liked Coach Harbaugh a whole lot. I think it's a good fit for him.
One of the best things that I love doing play-by-play, listen, anybody can call a football game if they love football, but to cover it and to put it into print, get it up on a smartphone on the website, timesonline.com, or actually see it in your paper, that's a gift. But I used to love to watch the throng of reporters outside the locker of a high school game on Friday night when the buses were firing up and kids were heading back home, and those reporters with their little pad and paper asking questions, and the coach just being so patient and answering question after question after question. And that's one part of journalism in football, meaning high school football, that I never hope goes anywhere. And for the best coverage, it's got to be the Beaver County Times. And by the way, you can actually pick it up here too. Listen, last thing, Penn's in action against the Islanders tonight. Sydney back. They beat Florida the other night 3-2. He just gives them a little giddy up, doesn't he?
They are a different team with him on the ice. He's tremendous. I was curious about how he react to the concussion. Obviously, the last problem he had with the concussion, it took him a while, but you saw what he did the other night, scoring right off the bat. So depends. Quality team without him, but really just a different team when he's on the ice.
All right, they're taking on the Islanders tonight at the PPG Pace Arena. Listen, tomorrow morning I will be in for Marty Griffin beginning at 9 o'clock on News Radio 1020 KDK. Of course, we're going to be talking all about this presidential election. President Bill Clinton will be in Aliquippa. Earlier tonight, Lynn Hayes Freely was in Rochester doing a live report on KDK television about the tragic shootings in Rochester, one of them involving a mother of two, a 30-year-old who was shot and killed last night in Rochester. So we're going to be talking about gunplay and gun violence and what's not just happening in Beaver County but throughout this country and what we need to do to try to stop it. Also, we're going to be talking about the sad news of the ATI Midland plant being idled, and they're going to make a sacrifice and get rid of that mill. So what happens to the 250 workers there? What is next for them? We're going to talk about that. And also this presidential campaign, the Senate race between Pat Toomey and also Katie McGinty, a big story. We're going to be talking to John Delano of KDK TV2. He's their money editor and political analyst. And also Dr. Terry Madonna. He is from the polling center at Franklin and Marshall College. Big day tomorrow, 9 until noon. Yours truly from Marty Griffin from the Brighton Hot Dog Shop on 3rd Avenue in New Brighton. Good night, everybody.